We mention all the time, you never know what to expect in a day of boating when you get out there on the water, but sometimes you know exactly what to expect. Especially if you're ever able just to watch the Weather Channel for a little bit and understand what kind of weather conditions you're going to face when you're out there on the water. So when I say that, sometimes when I see scenes like this, I'm a little surprised. For example, this is over in Australia, where over the past week, their coastlines have been absolutely battered with 12-foot seas, torrential rains, and heavy winds, as you can see in the images here. But obviously, some people weren't prepared for it, as we can see several boats washed into the shoreline from the storms that were battering the coast. But this often makes me wonder, do you think these boats were left out there intentionally, like they knew the storms were coming and we're gonna leave them out there anyway? Or do you think they really thought they were probably good to go out there? Let me know in the comments, but just one of the wild and crazy things we'll witness in this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Our first story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Virginia, where this was the scene just a few days ago when a woman had to be rescued after driving her car into the water in Virginia Beach. The scene caught by several bystanders depicts a chaotic scene where 3 to 4 people wound up jumping in the water to try and rescue a woman and pull her out of her car. Fortunately for this woman, one of the people you see in the images is actually a U.S. Navy rescue swimmer who was bound and determined to get this lady out of this car. The Navy swimmer's name was Jeremy Way, and he happened to be dining at a restaurant called the Back Deck when all of a sudden they witnessed the vehicle enter the water. He quickly asked somebody else dining at the restaurant if there was somebody in the vehicle. They said yes, and he told news reporters that his training quickly went into action. He wound up pulling everything out of his pockets and jumping into the water, as his immediate reaction was to try and get the person from the vehicle. Now, as you can tell from these images, things definitely didn't go easy for the rescuers. Apparently, the electronics in the car were already disabled by the time they got in, and they were unable to get the vehicle unlocked to be able to open the doors to pull her out. And as you can see, they're trying to smash the front windshield and the rear at the same time. Fortunately, the Navy swimmer was able to get in through the back window, and he starts tossing items that are in his way out of the vehicle so he can get to the lady and hopefully get her pulled from the car. I'm still curious on this one though as well. Obviously, a front windshield exit would have been a little easier than a rear, but I also wonder, right here in a few moments you're going to see the vehicle all of a sudden goes from floating to sinking very fast. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the hole being in the front windshield, all of a sudden allowing the vehicle, as that front end continues to go down, to start to take in a lot more water extremely quickly, as you're about to witness here. Things get crazy in this one. It doesn't look like it's going to end well, as we've got 2 people in the car, the lady and the rescue swimmer, and the vehicle is going down. They've got to find a way out of this thing exceptionally quickly before this car goes completely underwater. At that point in time, especially with the windows busted out, it's going to be a very risky or even dangerous or impossible situation to try and climb your way out of this. Fortunately, at the absolute last second, as we'll see right here, the vehicle is going under. They wind up pulling everybody out of the car. And fortunately in this situation, everybody walks out of this without any major injuries. This really is one of the most fortunate situations you can imagine. It is freaking cold in Virginia right now. It is January, and these guys all jumped in this frigid, freezing water in an attempt to bring this lady out, and somehow everybody made it out okay is absolutely wild. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to take us down to Florida, where this is the scene that's been occurring over the last couple months, where GPS theft has begun to run rampant.
Gotta love scumbags. 15 grand gone.
According to local reports, it seems like there's been a massive spike recently in marine GPS theft. Now in Florida, this is not a new thing. In fact, many of you, if you're from South Florida, may remember back in 2023, there was actually a major bust of what they called a sophisticated crime ring of 11 people who were running around stealing GPSs, eventually leading to the arrest of 10 of them, who apparently stole over $4 million worth of GPSs together over a short few month period of time. Now, I'm not necessarily saying something like that is happening again, but it does lead you to believe that something like this could be possible again, as we've seen a mass jump in marine GPS theft, but it's not just single theft. We're seeing multiple boats targeted and hit in certain areas and within one night or a quick period of time. Now they do this so they don't bring people on alert. Obviously, if a boat gets its marine GPS stolen, the next day anybody in the area and around is gonna be on alert and be watching out for something like this. When a group of people can work together on something though and go hit multiple boats or multiple vessels in one shot, they do it before anybody's really on high alert or aware of the situation that's going on. Which means if you live in South Florida, you definitely want to be aware of this situation and keep an eye out for people who might look suspicious. Again, I'm not saying this is an organized ring like the last time, but the reality is when you're seeing multiple vessels hit in one shot, the likelihood is they are scoping these out. So if your boat is stored somewhere like a storage facility or somewhere out on the water where there's multiple vessels stored in an area and you see somebody suspicious around, taking pictures, somebody who doesn't belong there, definitely don't be afraid to step up and say something, possibly alert authorities, or if you're in a storage facility, letting security know about that person, because you never know, your boat might be being scoped out to be the next target for a crime such as this. And it appears that even cameras are not stopping these guys because a lot of video footage has been captured of these people doing this. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Turkey, where this is a scene that's been unfolding for several weeks, but Turkish officials recently reported they have finally been able, after 12 days, to refloat a grounded tanker that had gotten stuck along their coast. But this tanker has quite the story on how it wound up in this situation. The vessel seen in the images is the tanker named Quindil, and it's reporting a registry in Qatar, but according to local reports, for the past 3 years, it is believed that this vessel has been part of the Russian Shadow Fleet, making Russian oil terminal runs from St. Petersburg over to India. During the return from one of those most recent trips, this tanker was actually attacked by Ukrainian forces and hit by one of their drones. Ukrainian forces claim to have laid heavy damage to the vessel, but also claim that the vessel did continue under its own power and made a sharp turn back toward Turkey, hoping the vessel can make it to a local repair facility there. Once it got to the Turkish coast, the vessel wound up dropping anchor and hanging out off the coast until it could enter port. But several days after that, it was noted that the vessel was adrift. It's not 100% certain this time what exactly went wrong, but it is believed that possibly the vessel wound up having some sort of engine issue, causing the vessel to be adrift during a bad storm off the Turkish coast, eventually leading to the vessel becoming lodged on the rocks as it was battered by wind and seas, forcing it into the coastline. After the weather calmed down, Turkish officials were able to gather 3 tugs to go out and assist in getting the vessel pulled off the rocks. At this time, there's no known pollution from the incident and no injuries have been reported. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram at Broncos Guru and let us know when you might see your stories over here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.